Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? Yeah, let's do some fantasy city. Actually, this one is from ArtStation. Let me see if I can give you guys the link. Hey Burning Bright, how are you? The great thing about this one is that the creator actually shows the process. Let me send you a link in the chat if you want to check out his work. He actually shows a breakdown of how he made this one, which is nice. So I'm guessing this is how it came out from the render. Very minimum detail. Then he starts adding detail to this. Maybe through Photoshop or something. Clouds, water, then fields. Hey Denzi, how are you? Nice. This really looks nice. Maybe we can also try doing some Photoshop work today. I don't know. We'll see. I like the bridge. Yeah, let's try and see if we can get something looking as good. So just start off with the camera. We're not going to do a lot of things from scratch. So let me go to right away to my asset library. Get some landscapes. Just going to start. This is actually a landscape we created in the previous video. I liked it, so I searched it in. I saved it in my library, just so I have somewhere to start with. I don't like starting from scratch. Just going to have a few. Okay. Okay, going to go in here and just make a few changes. Make it more rounded there. So yeah, can add a river. Let me see if I have some water object. Now let's add a water material here. Yeah, this is going to be our water. Let me search for a water material. Maybe this. Yeah. Hey Vision Series, how are you? Hello Jose LBS. Hello Leo Dia. How are you guys? How are you doing? Okay, we're going to use cycles. Turn on some sky. Yeah, something like that. Call this fantasy land. I think I already have that. Fantasy land 2. Okay. Okay, I want this to be a bit darker. So I guess I can just come to this material. And since we already have a hue and saturation, we can make it slightly darker. I think I need to bring the strength of this down. Actually, the strength of the sun can be 0.3. Okay, now let's start creating some detail like this. Hey Kapil, how are you? Glad to see you. What's up? Yeah, I also want to basically create the same feeling of the city, like a rounded pillars like that. Let me scale this up. Yeah, so this is going to be our terrain, and I like how it details, creates the river. Okay. Did you fix your machine yet? Have you fixed your machine yet? Yeah, treadmill. I'm starting to think you're intentionally not fixing it. Okay, so I think this is a good starting. You have to buy a new motor. Wow. How much would that be? Let's create these circular pillars. Come in here, extrude this around 160. And how much is a new treadmill? Let's add a mirror. For something basic like mine, 120, 150. So the monitor by itself is half the price of a new one. Sounds like you just need a new treadmill, man. Because what if you fix the motor and then something else breaks? Wouldn't that be... How long have you had that one, that specific one? Because to me it sounds like you just need a new treadmill. Because if the motor is going to cost you 140, 160, minus the cost of adding the motor in, or are you just going to add it yourself? That sounds pretty expensive. Yeah, which is kind of why I haven't decided. You are right. I'm worried about that. It's about 16 years. Yes, I think 16 years is good. I would just get a new one because especially if you haven't factored in the labor cost in the 160. How much is it going to cost you to fix it? Because I'm guessing you're not the one to add in the motor. Because if the cost of Seems like to me it's going to cost you more to fix that than just getting a new one.
Swear I won't forget this. Why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open.
Okay. True, kind of shopping for a new one while looking for a motor. Yeah. Yeah, first, how much is it going to cost you to... how much is the labor cost going to cost you? Because I think that's going to determine... Make the decision better, would make the decision better, easier for you if... I need this to be more flatter. And this curve to be much wider, I think. Yeah, we're going to add the river to make the river part of this. Good evening, Doki Doki. Or you? Do you have hotkeys? Yes. Let me actually give them red color so that they're easy to see. What did you do to delete those vertices? Okay, which vertices? I just use Shift X, I think. Yeah. Love you so much. Thank you, Leodia. Thank you. Hello, Era. How are you? I can replace it myself. I took the old one out to find the model. Oh, nice. But are you sure nothing new is going to break after you fix that? Concrete. Because 16 years sounds like it's about time for more stuff to break. Can you change red to white? Red to white for what part? I'm already starting to like this. I'm going to grab this, Shift D, this. Oh, for the add-on, red, white. Okay, like that. Hello, Sad Shy. How are you? You're a blessing to this community. Thank you. Your work is amazing. Love you from India. Thank you, Maween Arnold. Thank you. The belt could go or the board also. That's a good point, bro. Yeah. You need to be sure that it's not going to break again. Or something more expensive. So what is the motor the most expensive part of that could break? I feel you have to find out what the most expensive part that could break about your treadmill first before you decide on fixing one or getting a new one. Because if it's the motor, then maybe, yeah, you might be okay just fixing that. But if there is something else that could break that is more expensive than the motor, I would just get a new. Yeah, the motor, then board, then belt is pretty cheap. I see. But sometimes fixing stuff can be fun. So there's also that maybe you can make it as a fun project for yourself. You don't always have to buy new stuff if you can fix the old one. Especially if money isn't the issue here. Just make some spikes. I wonder how you're going to do the clouds. I think we'll just use anime texture for the clouds. Okay. We can start populating this with some buildings. Building. Just going to use these small buildings we have. I'm not going to create any buildings from scratch. Let me see. This I think would be a good building. Let me go back to the roof here. I think we need to make it a bit more red. Yep. Then the concrete. Okay. Get another simple building like that. The let's use the array. No, let's use a plane and give it this up. Give this a hair system. Set this to 0. I don't know. Should I use? Sometimes I like to use the. Let me first change this to a collection view links. Yeah, the reason I like using geometry nodes for particles like this is because it's easier to set up the rotation of the objects than the particle system. You can see here, getting the right rotation can be an issue, and now getting these to properly rotate can be an issue. Yeah, so let's quickly set up geometry nodes instance here. Quick instance here that can be, we can use distribute on faces or on distribute points on faces, and then add instance on points and just get our collection info, which we can just use as the view links as our instance separate and rotate. Now we can play with the scale, randomize the scale. I'm going to use a random value here for the scale. This can be 0.1, yeah, something like that. And for the rotation, we can also randomize the rotation of the building. Hey, this is just a quick reminder. I'm creating a course on geometry nodes, a beginner's course on geometry nodes, where we make about 20 projects. Yeah, so I'll be posting that when I'm done making that. Hello, Panika. How are you? How are you doing? Let's grab a combine XY and randomize the rotation of these buildings as well in the Z direction. I like that. I'm going to subdivide this mesh a bit and just maybe scale it up. You can see what we have, and use the shrink wrap modifier to just have this projected onto the surface. So like that. Another thing I'm going to do is expose some of these values. Also, I think we can also randomize the instance here. Use an integer. Okay, like that. I'm going to expose the seed for the randomness because we're going to have multiple meshes. Let me see what other values I want to expose. I want to expose the random scale actually I can just expose the, what should I do? Yeah, maximum. And the rotation I can also scale vector, add a vector math here, change this to scale, and this will help me control, if I suppose this, control the, either remove the random rotation. If I set this to 0, it should remove all the random rotation, or increase it like that. So this can just help me do that. And also I need to scale down. Let me first pause this. You're good? Nice. Hello, what's up? Let's also do the same for the rotation, the scale here, the random scale. So that's the randoms. Now, we don't really need that much randomness in the scale, but we do need, however, at scale down to have a scale value here, so we can control how scaled these are. And I might also want to expose the density. So let me rename these groups. So this is rotation random. Okay. My PC rendering 60 frames for 2 days. Maybe your scene is too heavy. It could be your scene. Your scene is too heavy. What are you rendering? Okay, let's rotate. You can increase the density. And the great thing about this process, actually, I want to show. Should I? No, I think no. If you go into edit mode, yeah. If you go into edit mode, we can just, actually, let me first remove all these faces here. I can extrude this mesh to follow our arc, just like that. Can randomize the rotation a bit, increase the density, yeah, like that. Now maybe increase the scale a bit as well. I don't want any of these buildings to obstruct our bridge, so maybe let me bring that up. And make it a bit wider so that it's much easier to see. Okay, that's one sector. Power wood, brother, just ship it to render farm. Okay, let me duplicate this, shift D, rotate this cluster as well here. Shift D, rotate it here, shift D, and let's see how this looks. Not bad. We can also have this. Actually, I'm going to delete the faces that make up this. Actually, make a copy of this and just add a circle. fill it. Maybe we might need to lower the density. Let me first pause this. Lower the density a bit. And just scale up these. Why do I have many here? Maybe our city should be a bit closer. After a complete fantasy city, can you animate this, sir? How do you want us to animate this? Because I think maybe like a camera fly through or something. Okay. Yeah, so you want like a camera fly through? You can do that. Form. Do I have water form here? Form. Okay, so this water should be able to touch. Okay, so what we're going to do is add some shader here. I'm going to go to this water, change it a bit. So let's go to the shader. Yeah, camera animation. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Think we can do that. I think this bridge should be a bit bigger, maybe because it's like the main bridge. Okay, I wanted to change the water a bit, the watershed a bit. So I want to have some foam, and I'm going to use the ambient occlusion node. Let me first make sure that I have ambient occlusion turned on for Eevee. I think it would be amazing experience, this environment in VR. Yeah, but turning this into an actual VR project would be quite hard. Let me. Is that farm? What do you mean? I want the ambient occlusion node, and that should just give us. Let me do a color ramp here. Yeah, a shadow around the edges. Now with that, we can create a mask. Let me try using a greater than node here. Okay, it's not really necessary. We can use a color mix RGB, connect this as a factor. I can use the blue and white. Can I get a job as your assistant? And where are you located? Yeah, no, we should have white and blue. Yeah, so like that. That should give us a nice watershed, I think. Let's see. Okay, it's not too visible in cycles. Let's see. I want to see if I can amplify the effect. So if I add a math node here, multiply, yeah, I think that's what we want. Yeah. And okay, so I think we need a separate water shader and okay, I think we're going to need a shader, a diffuse shader, like this, so we can separate these two masks, or these two shaders, and that way we can get the water separated. I like that. So that's the where we can add some form. I think some sort of noise for the ripple, effect. Let's see. Give this, doesn't have to be really white. Yeah, something like that. Let me add some mountains in the back. Actually, I can just grab these, Shift D. Let's just scale them up a bit. There's some nice mountains that we could use. Yeah, like that. I think I need to level this. Get some volumetric fog. Actually, the for this, we don't want... I want the bridges to just cross the water. We don't want them to go inside like that. And I think we need some volumetrics. Maybe some detail to the center of the building. Yeah. Yes. True. Let's see if we have some volumetrics here. Let me increase this to something like 0.5. Get some trees. For our terrain. How you make volumetrics? Can you show me volumetrics? So the volume is just a cube like this, and you just add a principal volume connected to the volume input of the material output, and I just use the emission shader to make it like that. I think we might even want another volume object. Somewhat here. Okay. Yeah, we need to add some detail to this middle tower here. So I guess I'm going to add a mirror modifier to this. Should be a way of adding detail, quick detail. Okay, let's see. If we add a loop here, I can Shift H, select this, turn on proportional editing. I think I can use the, I don't know which one to use, this, Alt H, and we have this shape here. Actually, I need to bring it down a bit. Okay, I want this arch here, so let me grab this, insert, extrude in. Let me add this face here. Grab these faces. Just trying to push in, add in some extra detail. Shift H. Nice, thank you. Okay, I think I need to first get rid of these. They don't really add much. Going to grab this, extrude out, grab this edge. Okay. Make a center spike like a needle, just in the middle. Oh, you mean? Yes, you mean something like this, hopefully. Oh, you mean here? At the center of the dome, like that. Okay. I guess we can duplicate this, scale it up, and just and I think I'm going to grab this this here. Y, hit Y, P to separate it. Think I can add some extra detail to this. Let's see. Let's add some art decals to this. Doesn't even have to be that impressive. It's just think something like that. I think we can just select these, this, and this might be even this, this, and this, and this. Control B, Shift, and then extrude out. And then join back to this. So this here can get maybe a glass material, which is just going to be blue material, maybe with some transmission. Whether this should be a copy of this. Okay, let me see. If we make a few of these, just rotate it like that. Grab these, push them. I think our glass looks too reflective. This might be a stupid idea, but how about turning it into a lighthouse? Lighthouse with light animation in a night scene. Night scenes for large landscapes are really hard to pull off. I don't think I've even attempted one. So yeah, they're quite hard to pull off. Let's duplicate one here. I don't think I've even seen anyone try to make a night scene. Yeah, if you see any night scenes on ArtStation Instagram, let me know so that I can see how they pull them off. Let's find a foam texture. Foam texture. Oh, let me see. Let me try going into my asset texture library and see. I might find something. because I remember using some form somewhere. Are you going to upload this on YouTube? Yeah. The video is going to be there. Okay, I'm going to grab a form image. Yeah, like this one here. Let me show you that. Let me go to my clouds texture. Clouds. Anyway, let me just add a plane. Just show you what I'm working with here. So I think I'm going to add some form. Let me first isolate this, create a new material, bring in the form. Yeah, I'm going to grab this form. Let me change the music a bit here. Yeah, I'm going to grab this form, use an emission shader with a transparent shader, blend the two. Can this be our emission? Like this, and I can use, let me make sure that our material is set to alpha blend. Okay, so I can use this image as the alpha. Where will you add it? At the water form? Okay, why is Blender crashing? Trying to crash. Okay. The water form is just going to be on the edges of this. I want to use a control. Okay, so lighthouse seems unnecessary, but a night scene would be really cool. Changing the window material to emissive is easy. I don't. Yeah, it's easy because we. Now we can try the night text, the night material and see, but I'm not really sure how it's going to work. Anyway, let me first create some water form here. Okay, so this is going to be our water form. In the material setting, I don't want this to cast any shadows. Okay. And I think I'm going to use the bend modifier. Actually, let me pull this like that. We can use the simple deform modifier. Simple deform. I use bend. Let's see. I use a negative value like that and rotate this 180 degrees. Oh, my shortcuts. Okay, they're on. Yeah, I think now we can have these water form there. And I'm going to remove this alpha channel that I had on the water, or the form I had on the water previously. Just replace it with the water form we have now. Good night, Eddie Gaming. How are you? Just have this duplicated like that. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks a bit too much. So let's come in here. We can reduce the transparency. Okay, that's here, using this. Let's reduce the emission and see. Now should be the transparency, and maybe let me see. Add texture coordinates and scale this on the Y, but remove. Make sure the water is not repeating, but just extended. So we can control how far the foam is going. I think a little smaller. You mean for the foam? Yeah, we want the foam to be very settled. And actually, it shouldn't be the emission shader. Maybe it should just be a diffuse shader. And diffuse. Yo, thank you for subscribing. Our next gen graphics and Lord Sepper. And for Ugen subscribing are also Jean-Claude Van Demisbach and Mark Van Den Broek, I think. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. One thing I could add to this water form, I can scale it up. Scale it up just like that and create a gradient texture. Texture gradient. That should go from top to bottom, I think. So let me rotate this 90 degrees and maybe move the gradient like that and add a math node with multiply. I can blend this with our gradient and use that now as our factor. It should help fade the form a bit better, I think. It should be like this. I don't want this to affect. Let's go back to the settings. Visibility. We don't want this to affect the transmission or the glossiness. So let's see. Can also scale them back in. Yeah, I think that's much better. We need some objects to block some light. So let me add a mountain, a really tall mountain on this side. to block some of the light coming in. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's see, where is our light coming from? If I change this to 45, change the elevation maybe to 5, 15. Yeah, we want to block some light. Let's get, we can even just get a Suzanne head and squash it, and this should help cast a shadow on our scene. Let's see. Yeah. Shadows add depth to the scene. Maybe a good gobo for the cloud. Yeah, good. I don't think I have. Yeah, I actually have clouds, but setting up the shadows, because they use transparency, the render usually slows down a bit. Let me see. Because we're not using EV, shouldn't slow down too much. Let me see. Cloud. Yeah, I do have some clouds, and we do need clouds in our scene, so this could also help with that. Make sure that this casts a shadow, can cast shadows. So instead of using the emission, let's use a diffuse, because I think emission shaders don't cast shadows. Let me see. Okay, the shadow is really soft. It's there, but too soft to my liking. Hello, Chota Samosa. How are you? What do you guys think we can add? I think I'm going to make a few smaller pikes of this, or pieces of this, to add at the edge, maybe like that. Yeah, let me see. Let me try something different here. If I duplicate this again, scale it down, duplicate it again, scale it down. Actually, there's an easier way. I can just use an array modifier. Duplicate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just push these, make them cascade like that. Can you help me? I'm very noob to Blender. I'll be glad to help. I have a ton of tutorials that you can watch if you're new to Blender. Okay, these should be a bit different. So let me first get rid of this. Apply a scale of this so that I can make it a single object. I'm just going to remove this center pike, and maybe even apply the mirror. Just want to turn this, make this a bit different. Try using the shear tool on this. Yeah, maybe this one doesn't have the glass material. Yeah, thank you, Mark Matun, for subscribing. Yeah, if you're new here and yeah, you like the content, you can leave a like, subscribe. Really helps out. Hello, Deepak. How are you? Let me remove these middle ones and see. Okay. Let's go to the... Bring up the sun a bit. I want the water to be a bit darker. Let's see, diffuse transparency. Thank you, Vaclav Frigel. Thank you. Small buds will help right for the scale. Yeah. True. And we do have some buds. I'm not sure if they are visible here. Okay, I've added the buds, but with this resolution, I'm not sure they're going to be very visible. But yeah. Let me rub. Please watch Back to the Future 1.2 and 3 for retro futuristic art inspiration. You know, that's a movie I think I've watched, but when I watched when I was young, but I can't remember for sure if I did. But I think it's one of those movies they would just play on the network randomly. But yeah, I think I could give it a try. The flying cow one. Sure. Yeah, I don't like how these are showing up. And just use one. Let's add some clouds. The center tower reminds me of the famous Unfinished Hotel. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. It has those side things. Yeah, yeah. Maybe this is medieval uh, North Korea or something like that. I can add another volume for the clouds just above. Texture. Let's use a noise texture for the strength. You know what? I do not hate that. Let's bring maybe the details up on the roughness, somewhere like that. Yeah, I don't really hate that. I think I like it. I like it. Will you process it? We can. The issue is that I would have to first end the stream because I can't really render it out without the stream crashing. So I would have to first end the stream, which is something I don't want to do just yet. Because if I try to post process it, I would have to first render it out and then. Why is the quality? No, it can't be just 148. It has to be full HD. Yeah, there. You can change the quality to 180. Yeah, that's something I fixed years ago. We can stream at 1080. So check your side. Let's try increasing. What should we increase? Maybe add some trees in here as well. Maybe let's try looking at this from different angles and see. You know, I don't hate this. Actually, I want this mountain to be in the background somewhere, so let me grab it. Save some GPU for animation. Yeah, you are right. If we want to render some animation, we might have to reduce on the stuff we're adding in. Yeah, and you know what? Let's see how this looks in Eevee, because I think I'm going to stop adding any extra detail, because if I add more detail, we won't have any success rendering this as an animation. I think I'm going to even leave this rendering in the night. Let me just set up some camera animation. I think I don't want to do too many frames, and we just going to have a camera flying forward. Flying forward, and then maybe because I think this view is also good, though the volumetrics might be a bit too much. At least I think grab this. Any new progress on the game? Not much. I haven't really done much. Yeah. Because I'm still working on the course. So this week I want to just work on the course, and then next week I can focus on the game. Usually what I've usually done is I usually focus on multiple projects at a time, which sometimes work, but sometimes I end up dragging projects that should take a few days to make. End up dragging them into several weeks. So this time around, I want to finish a project before I can continue on to another one. Yo, thank you, Polo, subscribing. Appreciate that. Okay, I think I'm going to give this a render, see what happens. Yeah. Maybe I can add an extra city block. Should I do that? That might be a bit too much. Maybe one. Nah. Okay, so I'm going to try and render this animation, and yeah, so I have to end the stream for this. Yeah, thank you for showing up. Yeah, I'll give this a try. I've changed the video quality, but this still shows low here. Don't know why. By the way, for how long have you been using Blender? I've been using Blender for about 10 years. Yeah. I don't know what could be the issue. Yeah, so But the VLD will be there. Thank you. Yeah, so let me give this a render, and let me see what render time should I set. Let's set 30 seconds per frame. It won't be the best quality, but I want to make sure that so 30 times 100 frames divided by 60, that's almost an hour. So let's do 1 minute, which means this should render about 2 hours or at least 3 hours, which is not too bad. So it is 10:43. So that would 11, 12, 1, 2. So by 2 a.m. Hopefully this should have rendered. Thank you for 100 likes. I'm getting hiccups. Let me drink some water. Okay, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I don't think I'll be streaming. I'll be working on completing on the course. But yeah, see you when I see you. Thank you.